Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer 40,000. Today we're going to take a look at the Leagues of Votann, and in particular the Urani-Surtr Regulates. Now, this is one of the many different Votann sub-factions you can find inside Codex Leagues of Votann, which will be released very soon. Now, in this video, we're going to go through, talk a little bit about what makes the Urani-Surtr Regulates special for the Leagues of Votann. We'll then take a look at a couple of units we recommend to begin with for this sub-faction, and then expand upon this with some other units after that to give us our first 1,000-point army, of which we will show you a sample 1,000-point army at the end of the video. So with that all said, what do we get? Well, we get the League Custom Cool Dower Survivalist. First of all, we add one to the toughness characteristic of all models in a unit with this custom. This is just a solid baseline upgrade for the units. We do have quite a few toughness 5 models available in the Leagues of Votann's roster, so, you know, being able to get a lot of toughness 6 on the table is pretty sweet. Now, you can also reroll failed morale tests taken for a unit with this custom, which I think is particularly good if we're looking at more elite forces, more expensive points per model, with those higher toughness values. Having something that is going to allow us to reroll failed morale tests is going to be really cool, and just help us maintain, you know, our more elite troops on the tabletop. And so, to start with for this sub-faction, I really like the Iron Hero Champion. I think he's a great place to start. First of all, toughness 5 straight up. That means he's going to be toughness 6. And in fact, if you choose to make him with the Weefield crest on the table, he'll have a 4-up invuln and 6 wounds on top of that. Starting off with 5 wounds though, at toughness 6 is really nice. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 2+, and a 2-up save. He can choose to take either the Darkstar Axe for +1 strength, -3 AP, damage 1, and getting some extra attacks, and your opponent can also not ignore wounds caused by this weapon in any way, or choose to take the Mass Hammer you see pictured here for ×2 strength, putting him up to strength 10, -3 AP, damage D3 +3, and each time he makes an attack though, he will be -1 to hit, still a 3+. He allows Iron Hero Hearthguard near him to reroll wound rolls of 1, and we'll talk about them in just a sec. He's -1 damage as well. He is -1 to wound in melee, and also does some mortal wounds when he charges an enemy unit. He can also take a teleport crest as well to teleport down onto the battlefield. Alongside the Iron Hero Champion, Iron Hero Hearthguard certainly are the place to go. Now, they're not a troop's choice, they're a elite's choice, but we'll look at that in the sample army list at the end of the video and how we can put this all together. But I really dig them. First of all, toughness 5, meaning go to toughness 6. They can have the teleport crest, or they can have the Weefield crest for a nice shield crest of 4-up invuln on the unit's leader, which is pretty cool. They have a variety of different weapon options, 2 different shooting options in the Vulcanite Disintegrator for Hunter 3, strength 5, no AP, damage 1, but also can do some mortal wounds, or they can choose to take the Itacam Plasma Guns, Hunter 1, strength 8, -4 AP, damage 2, great for Space Marine killing. Combat weapons, they've got either the Concussion Gauntlets, which are +3 strength, -2 AP, damage 2, or the Plasma Blade Gauntlets, only +1 strength, -3 AP though, damage 1, and they get some extra attacks out of them. The Concussion Hammer is pretty similar to the Mass Hammer at that ×2 strength, -2 AP, damage 3, though it doesn't have the ability to ignore the wound pass off. Now, they've also got Exo Armor, meaning they're also -1 damage and a 2-up save base. Really solid stuff for a nice hardy unit for the Leagues of Votann to start with. Looking at other places now, I really like the idea of a Grimnir. He's going to actually feature in our list that we're going to show in just a minute, and he's got some cool things he can do. This is your Leagues of Votann Psychic. There's actually a couple of different head options in there, both of which I reckon are absolutely amazing. It's probably my favourite model from the Leagues of Votann range that they've shown off. I also really like the little buddies he's got with him, the Core of Support units. Now, he is Psychic. He can actually cast and manifest 2 Psychic powers in your Psychic phase and attempt to deny 1, which is really cool. He also knows 2 Psychic powers from the Skynaut discipline, the Leagues of Votann's own specific discipline. On top of that, you know, he's got his Ancestral Ward Stave for +3 strength, -2 AP, damage D3 with 2 attacks, and the Auto Pattern Bolter on him as well. Got some nice elite extra abilities. His Ward Crest gives him a 4-up invulnerable save while the friendly League core is within 6 inch. You add 1 to combat attrition tests. And the core of support units, each time this unit suffers perils from the warp, if it contains one or more core of units, one of those models is destroyed and the perils is ignored. So effectively you can ignore 2 perils per unit. And the structure and core of models for the purposes of morale test is completely ignored for this unit. If the Grim is ever destroyed though, the corvs do disappear with him. Now, Broker Thunderkin are another cool unit I like to have a look at in this particular sub-faction, mainly because, once again, toughness 5. So they've got the Omnivisors, where your opponent can never get the benefit of dense cover against this unit, and they've got a variety of different shooting weapons. You can have either the baseline Bolt Cannon, Hunter 3, Strength 6, -2 AP, Damage 2, effectively, you know, a heavy bolter, but a little bit better. Graviton Blast Cannons are Hunter D6, Strength 5, IP, -3, Damage 2. Blast weapons, and each time they shoot something with a save of 3+ or better, they have a damage characteristic of 3. The SP Conversion Beamer is a nice beam weapon for Hunter 1, Strength 7, -2 AP, Damage 3, and each time it targets a unit, or hits a unit rather, that is more than 15 inch away, that unit will take 2 hits instead of 1. Now, looking at some other units, I do like Hearthkin Warriors inside this sub-faction as well. As we look to expand and maybe include some troop choices in some different army lists for this particular sub-faction, you could certainly look at Hearthkin Warriors, and I do think that larger units of them definitely have a place in this sub-faction. Being able to bolster up to Toughness 5, have 20 models at Toughness 5 is pretty cool. Not only that, but remembering we're also going to be able to, you know, re-roll those morale checks as well, and also get some better results thanks to having a Grimnir on the table. Hearthkin Warriors can provide a variety of different roles for your army. They can be nice, good back-range shooters. They can also be more close combat, or not close combat, but more close range shooters with some of the weapon options they have. Lastly, we have Chthonian Berserks. They are another Toughness 5 unit, so going up to that nice big Toughness 6, a full-on combat unit. They don't have an awful lot of shooting options outside the Mole Grenade Launcher, and they are pretty much combat all the time. Unlike, you know, our Hearthguard, which can sort of do both roles of combat and shooting, these are definitely combat all the time. And so here we have our sample army list. We've actually gone for a Vanguard detachment that is going to cost all 3 of our starting CP for the army. Not as big a deal as it once was, thanks to the fact we generate them at the start of every turn now. Now, obviously, playing with the Urani-Surtr Regulates. Now, an Iron-Haired Champion is our Warlord with Mass Hammer and Teleport Crest. We've got no relics and no artifacts and no Warlord traits in this force because we're spending them all on that Vanguard detachment. That's not too big an issue, I don't feel, as the ones for the Urani-Surtr Regulates probably are okay, but definitely not compulsory. A Grimnir, though, with the Skinner Discipline is really cool. Interface Echo actually will allow us to get some extra command points into the army, and Fortify allows us to bolster our toughness and provide a wound shrug off as well for the unit. Elites-wise, we've got 3 units of Iron-Haired Hearthguard, 2 units of 5, which will both have all Atakan plasma guns, and then a mix of the different combat weapons, and a unit of 6 of them in there as well with Volkite Disintegrators, once again a mix of the different weapon options. Heavy support is 2 units of Barokia Thunderkin, one of them with Graviton Blast Cannons and the other with SP Conversion Beamers. 55 power level, 995 points, no starting CP, though we will potentially have 2 on our first turn, even 3 if we're going second, and we still got that Grimnir alive. It's definitely a fun and different version of the Leagues of Votann, which I think definitely has some solid play. You know, it's going to be toughness 6 almost every model in the army, which is really, really cool. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, why not come join our Discord server as well, which you can find linked in the video's description. Also linked in the video's description is the best way to help support the channel via Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to help support either, it would be greatly appreciated as it goes towards making the channel better and better at doing what we continue to do here. We'd like to give a special shout out to all our Patreons and YouTube members, so a thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, Kenny Lowe, Owler and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and GRP390. And also a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop, Terrain, and John Castle. Lastly, a special shout out to all the people who help support the channel via sponsorship or via collaborations, and a special thanks as well to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.